In this tutorial, we're going to make some name art with a transparent background using SumoPaint. So our starting point is we have our new image. We've opened this up, and this is our canvas that we're looking at right here. And it's entirely too big for a name, and the transparent area will still take up space. So we want to bring the canvas down to size to make it as small as possible while still fitting our name. So I'm going to go from 600 pixels to try 180, and I click OK here, and that looks good. I might even make that a little bit smaller. So I'll go Image and Canvas Size. Again, you can tweak this later, 150 maybe. And I could see this being a banner with my name on it. I'm going to click the plus sign up here just to take the full screen. Alright, so the first thing to make a transparent background is here's our layers. If you don't see your layers, you might want to close out some of these panes. Layers might be minimized. You want to maximize it. There's my layers. And this is my background layer. The I means I'm showing the layer. If you want to view your art or image without that, you can click on, without that particular layer, you can click off the I and you won't see it. So I'm going to bring my opacity. Opacity is covering. So if the opacity is 100%, it's fully covered, or you can't see through it at all. So 0 opacity means you can see completely through it. Okay. And now I'm going to add a new layer. I do that down here. Here's where I add layers. I click on later, delete them. I can bring them forwards and backwards using the arrows. And I can add effects to the layer. So here I'm going to add a new layer. And it's called layer 1. You can change the name of the layer. Okay. Or just leave it. I just put the N. I think I also was prompting I might have a key stuck or something. So now I'm going to get over here, I'm going to get my text tool and click in here. And get my font really large. Let's move this more on the screen. And I'm going to write my name. Oh, it's on a white font, so that's kind of tough to work with. So I'm going to highlight this. The first thing I'm going to change. Well, I already changed this to Comic Sans, but it'll default to Arial. So pick the font that you like. I'd make it bold, the size, and I was messing around with foreground color. So I'm going to make this, I guess I like blue. So once you click on this, you can change. I want shades of blue. I like the darker blue. I can click OK, see what that looks like. If it's easier, you can look up the hexadecimal number of the color. There's lots of codes online where you can look up hexadecimal numbers of colors, and you can look at it that way. I think I can maybe even make this bigger, can I? There we go. Even bigger. So, so now when I have my font is perfect, I have the font I like, the color I like, I'm going to what we call flatten it. So I won't be able to edit the text anymore as soon as I get out of this text tool. So here I go. I'm going to click here. And now I can't edit the text anymore. But I'm noticing the canvas size. I'm always kind of tweaking it. I think even a little narrower. Okay, that does pretty good. You always can go edit, undo if you just really mess something up. Okay, I think I'll go even a little, I think it's a little too long because the transparent part is going to, even though it's transparent, it's still taking up space. So the width, maybe bring it down to 600. Okay, and that's almost perfect. It just maybe a little, I'd make tighter the better, but that's pretty darn good. So now I'm on my my name layer. If I click the I, it goes away. And I have this selected, and once I've selected, I can add some effects to it. Effect I like with text art is the drop shadow. I'm going to click drop shadow. I can tweak the drop shadow, and if you look behind me, you're seeing sort of a preview of it. Make the distance of the shadow go a little further. You can see how that's working. The strength of it. Sometimes less is more now. So the shadow color. Black's probably a good shadow color, but I can make it something else if I wanted to. There's other ones like the inner glow. Take it off. There's outer glow, I think I like, with the yellow, the strength, kind of have that. There we go. That looks pretty good. And you could just experiment with these. That looks pretty nice, the stroke. And gradient glow, probably not. To click the eye off if you don't want it anymore. And I'm doing the preview. So that looks pretty cool right now. I'm going to move this up a little bit. And there it is. So the shadow's all part of it. There's other adjustments you can do. If you can make it brighter or have less contrast. Okay. Lots of stuff here. And then you also have filters you can use. There's 3D effects. You can go crazy on this. Reflection, all kinds of stuff. I like the edge detection. Plastic edges gives it kind of a even more of a funk. Maybe that's a little too much, so I'm going to go Control Z. I really like that actually. So I'm going to go now. When I really like this, notice it's untitled. I'm going to save it to my computer. File, save to my computer. And by default, it goes SumoPaint. So if I saved it as a SumoPaint, I can't put it on a website, but I could open it up and edit it in SumoPaint again. But if I want to use this on a website, I eventually want to save it as a PNG or JPEG. You want to go with PNG for transparent because JPEG is not transparent. It'll assign it a color. PNG will do transparent background. So I'm going to call it my name and name trans for transparent. I'll save it, and in my digital class, you should all have a folder called Digicom. I'm at home, so I don't have my P drive, but you go to your P drive, and if you don't have the folder, you should have Digicom. If you don't have one, click. I notice some people never made their folder. Click New Folder and call it Digicom. So name trans, and I'm going to save it. So now I made some samples on digicom.mrjarvis.net, and I think these are some of the other ones I've done. And I'm going to go ahead and add this here. So I'm going to edit. And you could put, so when you put it on our website, the background of the website just comes through. So to put it on a website, I'm going to go insert an image. I'm going to go upload image. I'm going to go to my Digicom, default there. Notice it says Digicom up here. And enter it in to PNG, so it will be transparent. And click OK. Give it alt text if someone's using a screen reader. And there it is. So it looks pretty cool. I actually like this one better. So I think I'll just have one sample of a transparent background, and there it is. I'm going to save. Looks pretty nice. So, making a transparent image.